My name is Jenny Davis. I am an adoption specialist here at Boys and Girls Aid. I got into adoption really in earnest about in 2008. That was my first job in the field, and it just blossomed this passion for adoption and really this passion for advocacy as well. And then we actually grew our family through adoption too. So my daughter was born domestically and we adopted her as an infant. When a birth parent calls, I do spend a lot of time listening to them and finding those connections. I'm a big believer that everybody has something in common with someone else on the planet. And so I like to find out what that is to give us a connection with each other, whether that's we like the same movie or we have a similar experience or we went to the same high school, whatever it is. And then talk about a lot of what they want to talk about, really. Do you want to talk about your options? Do you want to tell me your story? My job is to give you all the information about the three main options, right? In no particular order: adoption, abortion, or parenting. And then you can make a decision that you feel the most comfortable with and that's best for you. If someone calls and they don't choose adoption, I'm very supportive of that. I am a firm believer that people have to make a decision that they feel comfortable with. So if that's adoption, fantastic. I would love to help you with that journey. If that's abortion or parenting, fantastic. I would love to give you resources so that you can be successful and really comfortable in your decision. Boys and Girls Aid, being a small agency, is huge for relationship building because I don't have a caseload of 80 people. I have a group of people I'm working with that's fairly small, so I can really give that specialized, individualized support and know the families well. Our adoptive family waiting pool is small, which I love because it gives me a chance to really know the families. I literally talk to the families at least once a month. Usually we're emailing really often, and because you have that regular interaction with them, you really get to know them. You know their animals' names, you know their hobbies. So we try and keep our waiting pool probably around like 20 families. So those are families that are done with their home studies and could take a baby tomorrow. It's big enough that there's variety, so you don't have a homogenous group of everybody looks the same, but it's not huge and overwhelming. When a baby is born and that birth parent has chosen an adoption plan, I will have interaction with the birth parents through all of that. So I will have started with them whenever they came into the agency or started working with us. I will have started with them in general and stay with them through the whole process. I really see myself as part of their support group. So that could include their families, it could include friends and loved ones, and that I feel like I'm a piece of that. When the baby is born and there is all that emotion, all that grief, everything that the birth parent goes through during the placement process, I can be there and hopefully have built a relationship that supports them and stabilizes them during that time and gives them resources and options and just that building up that they need. And then when the placement happens, I will continue to check in with birth mom and birth dad, birth parent, and make sure that they are doing okay, make sure they have access to counseling if they want it. One of the things about Boys and Girls Aid that I love is that there's a very rich infrastructure for after the adoption happens, after it's finalized, after all the court stuff is done, that there's a really strong program and system in place to support birth families and adoptive families and adoptees, all three groups. A birth parent may not feel comfortable connecting in an open way initially with the adoptive family for whatever reason. And I love that Boys and Girls Aid has this program that you can call back 40 years after you've made an adoption plan for your child and have that potential to reconnect with them.